Hey, another point is when you're going to record videos, stick it in airplane mode because this thing's been off. Oh my God, I've been talking for 40 minutes. I didn't know that. Anyways, I'm almost done. I'm almost ready. So, what we've come to is this. What is this? It's that thing from the orange, right? So I can be sending a picture and saying, what is this to users? And then a user that is kind of subscribed to my tutelage would be responding, hey, this is an orange. And a couple weeks later they respond, it's an orange. And then after a while we have some confidence that they have confidence in their knowledge, and I stop bugging them, what is this? It's an orange. So I have confidence that they've internalized this information. So when I'm creating a question, so the scope of the question that we're talking about today is what is involved in the question maker. So I can be creating questions with answers, but also could I not be creating questions that don't have answers, that I don't have an answer for? Because that's valid, because that exists. I mean, this thing exists. There's a picture of it. So I could be saying, what is this? And then when I go speak to the subscribed learners of my channel or whatever it is, then I could be saying, what is this? And I know what it is, right? And they're like, it's an orange. Okay, cool. And then, and then also, if there's something I don't know, I could also be saying, okay, what is this? And then if I don't know, then I don't know. Or if I'm not confident, then I could use this process to verify or actually receive information if I know nothing. That's interesting. Okay, so I don't even actually have to have an answer for that. And through some verification model, we could use people or AI, whatever, to actually be labeling stuff or getting answers to things that we don't actually know. So then what is this thing? It's not actually only like a quiz kind of template thing. It could also be, a query pool where we communicate with larger pools of people to actually seek information. Like, where is this person? Or what is this thing? Or how do you fold those proteins or whatever? I mean, just creating a place where people can work on this stuff. And, later, once we get this first thing up and running and it's being useful for people, we can add other things. There's the ability to create other things like 3D models, or if somebody has some code that they want to inject into this question maker. Is question maker the right thing to call it? I don't know. It's a thing. It's a thing that wants to help people. So, okay. So just to recap, we're going to limit the scope of this first part of the question maker to text, pic, video, and sound. And we can have stimulus and response. And when you're creating a leaf, which we can say that is the arbitrated concept of a question, this question can have an answer or could not have an answer. If I know what something is, or if I want to know something, I could be creating questions. That's cool. So this is not just an educational thing. It's like seeking information thing too. Like maybe, could be related to voting? Yeah. So the processing of the voting and what to do with that information can come in a later concept. That's not really related to the creation of, is it? Could be. Yeah, could be. So, basically we're thinking about how do we interact with people. One way is to ask them, what is this? And then, okay, it's a cup of coffee. Okay, so now you've learned something. Great, whoop-de-doo. Another thing is, if I don't know, I could be saying, what is this? And then you guys are telling me it's a cup of coffee. Great. Now, another way to interact with people is something about voting. Like, to say, should I eat this or should I eat this? And then people can vote or respond. Voting is a type of response, right? It's a mass kind of response. So when we're making a leaf, I think we have to consider what is the purpose of this. That's right, because we need to know which algorithm we want to know. I don't know. Which A or B? A/B testing, that's a different kind of question. What? A/B A-B? Oh, A-B testing? Oh God, not A-B testing. But, not A-B, but like this or that. You know, for people, should I wear this dress or should I wear this dress? Should we go here or should we do this? Do you like this photograph or do you like this photograph? Yeah, right. So that is... Is this an orange or is this an orange? That's multiple choice video. Oh, damn it. So voting. Voting is a multiple choice question kind of thing. Yeah, because you're voting on different options. But when you're making a question, I mean, there's different purposes. One is just, I want to show you information. The other is, I want to learn you something. I want you to learn something. Another goal of communicating is receiving an opinion, like polling for things. So should that be on the question maker? Yeah, because when we launch this leaf, then we want to be able to like say, you know, this is something, oh yeah. I mean, if I say, you know, what should I wear today, this dress or this dress, then I don't need to have the algorithm. Yeah, right. That's right. So what do we have here? This question maker is split into like a notebook. I mean, in the sense that like the first way to interact with information is to just observe that information. So I'm saying, hey, look, here's coffee. Then I wouldn't necessarily want the algorithm to keep bugging me about it on like some sort of repeating cycle to get me to know that this is coffee. Like that would suck, right? But if I'm just saying, yo, everybody, here's my morning coffee, like that, then that's just viewing. So that information isn't going into the learning algorithm. So that would just be into a notebook stuff, right? Or kind of like a blog kind of thing, like a notebook or a blog or like a letter or like a list. I mean, if I'm going to go shopping, yeah. I mean, the tree of knowledge is the tree of all knowledge, arbitrarily in terms of what I'm talking about. So if I'm going to go shopping, or I'm going to make a to-do list or my to-do list, my plan for the day, to-do or a list. If I'm going to make a to-do list, that is certainly not important in the scope of the world's knowledge, but it is knowledge and it does exist and it deserves a place on a tree. And it isn't a very spectacular thing, but that has use if I want to interact with this thing. So when I'm making a question, when I'm making is it a question maker? No, it's like a maker. So then I want to add information to the notebook, something I can review like lists and stuff. And then like a to-do list, like a post. So then something more ephemeral, like a Post-it. So I mean, we're just giving names to things, right? So maybe like a notebook is something of like information that is kind of archived for you that you care about, but you don't necessarily need to be internalizing this stuff, right? So that's a notebook. Let's call that a notebook, okay? And then also stuff that is you're going to be interacting with it like on short-term basis, and you don't need to keep coming back to it, and it can expire. That's kind of we could say that's like a Post-it. A Post-it, that's kind of like a short-term object that's not so permanent, that can be kind of attached to any object. Okay. So then forget the name question maker. It's just an interaction. It's just a place of interact. It's like a place to interact, right? So I'm opening my notebook. I'm writing stuff in my notebook. I don't actually have to internalize into my long-term memory storage in my meat computer, my brain, right? So then that's a notebook. Then the Post-it is like information that I'm going to be interacting with, or I gotta be like saying, hey, I want to be seeing this information. So if it's just a notebook, you're just adding information, your notes, whatever, that don't need to be internalized. Your Post-it, it's going to be attached to what? Attached to what? We need the option to say, this information is going to come back to me at this time. So maybe, the Post-its are on the bulletin board or something. So maybe like a bulletin board is kind of like short-term stuff that's easily visible. It's up. It's not really super organized. So maybe post it on the bulletin board. on the board. On the board. So there's a notebook, there's a board. Okay, forget post-it. Board is, a post-it is one piece of information. So you don't post one thing in the notebook. A notebook holds many ideas. So a post-it holds one idea. So let's scrap that, because the concept of a board is up, it's delicate, it's vulnerable to somebody erasing it, and it's kind of a accessible concept. The whiteboard, the blackboard, the whiteboard, the board. Okay, the board, the blackboard, the whiteboard, the board, the board, the board. Okay, so we got a notebook, we got a board for like things you're going to be interacting with. And you could have, I guess, an alarm clock to say, bring it up when I do this. Or when I do this certain thing, bring it up. When I go to the gym, do this. Or when oh yeah. So then it's, when I go to the gym, then it's this. It's kind of like it's kind of like virtual post-its. Maybe it's not like a board. Maybe it is like post-its, because when I go to the gym, do this, right? It's like a list I want to know about. And it's just going to happen like, but don't forget to get the chalk or something, or you forgot your water bottle, like that. It's like a short-term note that's attached to tasks or events or things. So that's not a note. What is that called? What is a short-term piece of information that you hold and it's not so important and you ditch it later? I mean, what is that called? Like, what's a cute name that we can remember and refer to? How do we do that? I mean, okay. I mean, also like a notebook, but like, I want to have like, I don't encapsulate the meaning and the purpose of the object with a name that means something, right? So, something like a virtual note, like a V note. Okay. Like your phone, like a buzzer, like a beeper, like a V note. Let's just call it a V note. So the V notes you can just access them virtually. I mean, get rid of the physical concept. You can just access them all at once, or you can access them by viewing other tasks or objects or concepts. And those things can be, your V notes can be viewed all in the whole, or they can be seen like as they're attached to certain things. So if I go to the gym, if I open my fridge, if I bibbidi bobbidi boo, whatever you are. So wherever you are, you have the ability to create a V note, until I find a better name for it. Okay. So notebooks and V notes. Okay. So then, now what about information that you want to be learning? Like, this is like stuff you want, I guess, like related to the depth of like attachment to you. So these V notes are quite like ephemeral. They're quite like fragile, and they expire like tulips in a notebook. And then there's stuff that you want to internalize, stuff that, like, for you it'd be good to know these things, like keyboard shortcuts, or how to stretch, or whatever you need to know, right? How to fly a plane. So this stuff is actually like learn. This is like to learn stuff. This is on my curriculum. This is on my curriculum. My personal curriculum. Stuff I want to learn, stuff I care about. So you can view your curriculum, and then when you like check it out, you can see what's on your curriculum. And then, we are human meat-based computers. We run out of energy. We have limited time and energy and memory capacity. So you can view your personal curriculum as it relates to all your different facets of existence, about your health, your family, your body, your knowledge, your profession, your habits that you want to be. Habits is different than, a habit is like a learned curriculum, but it's like an internalized habit. It's like an internalized function. So habit, yeah. I think we also want to be supporting habits. Like, I should drink water as soon as I get up in the morning, right? That's a different thing. So that's like a drill sergeant or something. So we got a notebook, we got a V note, then we got a curriculum, and then also we got a coach. Like, what is the name of the place or the person or the object that you keep all your like routines, the things you do. It's not about knowledge, it's what you do on a routine basis. The scheduler, that's not right. Because that can be one-off. Scheduler doesn't encapsulate the concept of doing something continually. So, the motivator, the coach, the pom-pom, that's stupid. The cheer, I mean, there are things that we want to be doing on a regular basis that are good for our lives. I would hope if people want to do things that are good for their lives. So, what do we call that? So these things there are habits, there are routines. So there are mechanisms, policies and procedures. Policies and procedures. Policies. Are they our policies? The policies, what you do, and the procedures, how you do it. Maybe P&P, maybe P&P, P&P. Your policies and procedures. That sounds stupid, but it's kind of accurate. A company has policies and procedures. People should have policies and procedures. Policy is what do you do on a regular basis? And policy can also be how do you react to certain stimuli? Walking down the street, somebody stares at you. Maybe somebody who's very violent would react with violence. So their policy is to react to violence with violence. Maybe another person's policy, their personal way of acting is to be afraid, run away, whatever it is, right? So I don't have a better name for it. Habits. Anyways, there's curriculum, there's habits, there's V-notes, and there's notebooks. Are those all those all things? Yeah. So within the maker, the interactive place, right? Habits. Oh, also then calendar too. You gotta have a calendar. So we want to get things done, and then, and also chat. What is this maker thing? Whatever it's called. It's a window. It's an object on the computer program. You come to it for what purpose? Well, to create leaves that will be ingested on your learning curriculum, that will be delivered to you by your algorithms that will monitor the fluency of your learning. There's also V-notes that will come up and remind you to do this, do that, learn this, whatever. It's a short-term thing that's not going to be kept in your long-term notebook. You could archive V-notes. That's not really critical, right? If the concept is V-notes a short-term thing, buy some milk, or tie your shoelaces, or pick up your water bottle, or whatever. And then notebook is your lists of things, your diary, or your place that you express yourself. It could be lists of things that you know or want to know, or just you haven't set. Oh yeah. It's just your first gathering place. But if you say hey, here are the what's on my wall, shortcuts for Filmora. Okay, I'm not going to use that, but shortcuts for Photoshop. Then if I should be able to just click that over into my, so then this exists on the tree of knowledge, right? That I've built. Maybe somebody else says that is something that I want to learn. That is on my curriculum. But for me, it's not on my curriculum. It's just in my notebook. It's just something that I want to be able to reference and bring up, because so within the tree of knowledge, it's something that I like, something that I want to come back to. It's like a star. It's like a ribbon. It's tie a yellow ribbon around the old oak tree. It's just a point of interest. It's just like a pin. A notebook. Is that a pin? So, but what if I have these Photoshop shortcuts that are in my notebook that I've been taking, and I built this up, and it's not necessarily information that I want to be internalizing. It's not in my curriculum. But then one day I say, hey, I want to be internalizing this information. I should be able to return to portions of my notebook and say, hey, plop this into my curriculum. At one point, does it leave the notebook and move to the curriculum? So what is a notebook? A notebook is a collection of locations on the tree of knowledge that I enjoy or want or wish to review without necessarily internalizing. But if I say now I want to be internalizing the shortcuts from Photoshop, and it enters into my curriculum stream, then that's not in my notebook anymore? I mean, you should be able to review your curriculum to see what's in your bucket of stuff that you're going to be planning to learn. Okay. But what about the notebook? Does it leave the notebook? I mean, it's going to get pretty cluttered. I mean, if it leaves the notebook and then you lose interest in it again, then have you had something in your notebook and then you pull it out into your curriculum? So notebook is kind of like having a heart or a star on something that you enjoy. So maybe the notebook is the thing that, whether or not it's in your curriculum. Can you have something in your curriculum that doesn't have a heart on it? Maybe there's like a heart sticker and a brain sticker. Maybe a notebook and a. So maybe the curriculum is the brain sticker. You click, like on a photo, you click on the heart, and that means you love that picture. And then maybe the brain sticker is indicating that you wish to be internalizing this information. So there's the tree of knowledge, and it has a bunch of hearts on it because you click these things that you like. That's kind of like your notebook. Yeah, sure. You can review that stuff. And then when you click the brain on it, it doesn't have to necessarily not have a heart on it. It still means you like it until you take it off take off the heart thing, right? So then there's like a brain thing, and you click brain. That means you're interested in this branch of knowledge to internalize this into a degree of fluency that would help you, execute tasks in the future. So so there's a heart sticker, and there's a brain sticker. What about the note thing? That's like really short term, like pick up the bottle, like a task to do. Yeah, sure. So then there's like to do. How do you encapsulate what is at the heart of to do? Like a pair of shoes, or running, or like an arrow? Okay, heart means I like it, I'm interested, sure. Or star is interested, I don't know. Heart or star. Okay, brain, that's pretty cool. I don't know, find an emoji. Or find an icon that represents like and brain, like internalization, target, curriculum, focused object. And then also like to do, like immediacy, urgency. What encapsulates urgency? Like a clock? Like a speedy arrow? What encapsulates urgency? Urgency icon. Urgency icon. Oh, okay. A bell? Yeah, okay, so let's say like a light, or like to do icon. To do icon. Oh, yeah. Like a list, that's cool. Okay, so we got, so what is better? So a brain? Like a brain icon? Is there a brain icon? It's a brain icon. Okay, yeah, sure. Oh, that's nice. Okay, so brain icon, and then heart icon means you like it. So the notebook is just a bunch of hearts. I mean, the tree of knowledge is actually the big universal thing, but you can get lost in it. So you'd have the ability to like say, here are my hearts, and here are my brains, and here are my kind of like feet, like a zippy shoe, or like a to-do list, or a light bulb. Okay, that's cool. And then a calendar, like what about a calendar? Like these are appointments. So tasks that are set to do because they have some high urgency, or they're kind of short term, that's like a to-do list. When you have time, you should be doing it, like sweep the floor as I just did. Okay, so then heart, we got a heart, we got a brain, we got a heart, we got a, and how do we draw a brain? Well, okay, whatever, brain, okay. Got a brain, we got a, maybe just a bell, I don't know. What's good for like to do? Maybe it's a to-do list. To do, and then like calendar. The calendar icon. I mean, I want these things to be really simple and elegant. Calendar icon? Is it just a calendar? Is there any other way? Calendar icon. Okay. Calendar icon. Yeah, that's cool. Calendar icon. Okay, that's cool. Calendar icon. Oh, that's cool. Okay, calendar icon. Okay. So that's like interacting with like knowledge, right? But what about interacting with people? Like, is this related to this thing? I don't know. Because it's going to look kind of, I'm saying, and also a habit. Habit. Okay, so heart is like my notebook. And then brain is like curriculum. And then to do is like, to do, whatever you call it, V-note, whatever. To do. And then calendar is like appointments in time, but also habits. What is an icon for habit? Habit icon. Ooh. Yeah, maybe. What was that? Okay. Habit icon. Coaching habit. Routine icon. Routine icon? Habit. I like this workout thing. Okay, so some sort of workout thing. I don't know, like a weight icon, something. Okay, so generating habits, generating knowledge, habit. Notebook and curriculum. Those are like really clearly linked to this tree of knowledge. That's okay. And then to do what you're going to do immediately. So then, does this all fit in this maker thing? There's also like chat and communicate with people. Like, does it all fit there? Maybe. Good messaging. Okay. With people. People. There's message and there's like chat. You can chat with people in like voice or video or text. You can message people with voice or video or chat. And then there's broadcasting. It's chat and message. So when I'm communicating, it's like one-to-one or one-to-many. What is voting? Voting is many-to-one. Oh yeah, right, that's cool. It's a communication form. It's a question. No, it's a question, many-to-one. It's a many-to-one question. Voting is a many-to-one question. Gathering information. Many-to-many? What the hell's many-to-many? Message. Okay. Is this related to communicating? Is this related to the question maker? A message is information. It's quite insignificant. It's quite, I don't want to say informal. You're not really categorizing it. Does a chat stream exist on a tree of knowledge? Technically yes, but that's getting a little ridiculous. So maybe the chat logs live as archived concepts. You're not gonna. Oh yeah, communication could be studied. Like somebody amazing, we might want to study their words, or like music, somebody's communicating in music, we want to study their music, their output, their improvisation. But within this maker thing that I'm making right now, that's my goal today. Should it be having messages or people? Create a question. Yeah, maybe. So I got to think about the icons. So what is there? It's so strange. It's like I'm kind of aware that like there's an observer, and then I'm like aware of like their time, and I don't want to waste their time. Isn't that weird? Because whoever's watching this could turn it off at any time. So why would I care? That's my problem. Why would I care? Okay, so when you come into this, you want to create knowledge. You want to create. Okay. And what are you going to create? I'm going to create So the stimulus is going to be text or pic or sound or vid. I create that. And then the response. So, okay, creating what? I'm creating a knowledge or a question. I mean, a question is a form of knowledge. I mean, it's just one part of knowledge. So I guess we're saying create what? I have a question. I have a question. Or I'm curating knowledge. Okay, so I have a question or I have a pencil. I'm creating information. Okay, so I have a question. Cora. Okay, maybe it's like that. Maybe it's like I'm creating a question. Okay, I could be creating a question. Or I could be creating knowledge. Creating knowledge. Okay, maybe it's like I'm like seeking knowledge. Seek knowledge. Seek knowledge. Or maybe I'm documenting knowledge. Document knowledge. Documenting knowledge is something that you can teach people. Or maybe it's... So this is about knowledge. So this is about knowledge. This is all about knowledge. Seeking knowledge or documenting knowledge. So I can document knowledge or I can seek knowledge. It's like creating a question. So then that's about like knowledge. And then do. So I have knowledge and then I have habits. Policies, procedures, policies and procedures. Knowledge and then I have habits and then and habits and then I have habits. I have my notebook. I have my notebook. V-note sounds stupid. Post-it. Post-it is to do. Notebook and then to do. So there's a question and answer, or just an answer. Question and information. Question and info, just info. So a notebook is just information without questions? Maybe. Knowledge. So that's like kind of like that knowledge stuff. First I can just put stuff in my notebook. And then I can be asking questions of people. And then I can be creating information, like creating questions. Okay, cool. So then habits and to-do and calendars. Calendar. There's calendar. Okay, so then there's knowledge. I mean, calendar is kind of knowledge, but like appointments. Okay, and then habits. And then to-do. How does that go? To-do. Let's make a to-do. Let's make an appointment. Let's make a habit. Is that how it goes? Let's make a habit. Let's make a to-do. Let's make a calendar. Habit, routine. That's better. Okay, routines, to-dos, and then calendars. To-do. But the to-do can be like a repeating thing. So then there's a routine, a repeated to-do list. Kind of. So when you're creating, I want to do this, do you want to create a routine out of it? I think that can be less like intimidating. So to do what? To take your vitamin. Okay. Then do you want to make it a routine out of this? Yeah. Would you like to internalize this? Yeah. That's like a notebook and then like a seeking curriculum, because like you're seeking to interact and repeat something to the point that it becomes a routine. And then a calendar for to do. Calendar. To do. Calendar. Is a calendar not also, it's also a to-do thing. It's just oriented with time. To do. So you could have a to-do that's just a blank to-do. It's just to-do. And then you have a calendar. to-do list, calendars in time, and routine as repeated things. I don't know. How do they go? Whatever. Okay, so they go like this. Know, do. Does this go like this? Do. 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 Yeah, do. Gotta know, you gotta do. Okay. And then, so that has document knowledge, seek knowledge, curriculum. Creating curriculum, seek knowledge, documenting knowledge. Creating questions, creating curriculum. Create a question, create a curriculum. Create a question, plan a curriculum. Plan a curriculum. You can be creating knowledge, you can plan a curriculum. That's separate. First you got to create your knowledge, and then you assemble the knowledge, and then you like cherry pick the knowledge into your curriculum. That's a notebook. No. So I guess, do we have only like, there's knowledge? Where you could put stuff in your notebook? But I think it's kind of like, that seems kind of psycho. So like notebook, and then knowledge. Like knowledge base. Notebook. No, something. What do you know? Notebook. To do. So you can know stuff, you can do stuff, you can people stuff. So that's to do, that's this. Curriculum, notebook, habit. Okay, cool. So what about chatting with people? And does this box contain all of that? I think so. People. People communicate with people. People. I mean, when you're creating a curriculum, you're communicating with people. How do we work with that? Also, okay, so creating knowledge, but also creating like, so I've created my groups, right? So we have that program already built. We create groups, and people assign up to you as a, like a leader, and like a teacher or whatever, a coach, whatever. And then, so they'll follow you. So you can pipe stuff to their stream. You can sign them up for curriculum and push stuff to there to do whatever has been allowed and agreed upon between you guys. So then, but also like, what about know, do, and then manage your classes, manage groups. So you have groups, right? So within a group, you have to build so you attach people to the groups, and the people verify their connection to the groups, and you also attach curriculum to the groups. You're offering them ladders to climb up and increase their knowledge. That's a ladder of knowledge. And you could also add things like, you can add things to whatever you agree on verifying permission for. You could say, here's a calendar moment, a routine thing to do, blah, 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 blah. Also, you want to connect with them and talk with them. How do you connect with them? There's knowing, there's doing, there's connecting, there's peopling. There's know, there's a brain, do is like the do, and then there's also like the peopling. The people. There's the people. And then what can you do with them? You can message them. I mean, if you're going to vote on something, you're going to ask them a question. Seek knowledge, and then vote. Voting why? To get an opinion, or to like pass a law or something? Policies and procedures. Is a law not just a policy and a procedure on how to do something and what to do? Agreed upon concepts of what to do. Yeah, kind of. So like voting, does that fit there? Okay, what about this people thing? There's like message, and there's like chat, and there's like, it's like one, or it's group, or it's one-to-one, it's group or broadcast. The interaction can be da-da-da-da, or do-lo-lo-lo, or okay. Yeah, that's right. The message can be pum 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 pum, or one-to-one, many-to-many, one-to-group, group-to-one. That's like an intervention. Hey, you gotta stop drinking alcohol, it's wrecking your life. That's an intervention. That's like a group chat with an agreement on who's the target and the purpose of the chat. I don't know about that, whatever. So are these related to the maker thing? I mean, if it's not a maker thing, I mean, here's the maker thing over here. This is also like a maker. Like you're making a to-do list, you're making this, but you're making a message, kind of. I mean, you're creating the message that's going to be transmitted. So there's algorithms for those things. There's algorithms for how does the computer interact with, how does a program interact with all of these different ways of working. So within that one interface, is it just one interface? So you begin with like there's a no button or a do button or a people button. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think so. And you just drill down. So I click the no, and then, well, you want to make a notebook? You want to... I mean, a notebook without creating it to the tree of knowledge, without finding a group that it fits some context. Yeah, sure. Maybe that's like your loading bay, your sketch book, your place that you're putting information that you don't necessarily know where it fits in the tree of knowledge. I mean, that's your subjective list of stuff that you're going to put in that's not necessarily within this like objectively verifiable tree of knowledge that could be private or shared or oh crap, what about that? So I create a list of different countries, but then that list of information, how are we doing? Okay. But then that list information should be, when I create information, right? If I say here's a country and here's the flag of the country, that could be just private, or it could be like public. Like Wikipedia is public and people can mess with it. Then I guess also you need some like King of the Hill. So that's like, you create a concept and you send it out, you nominate it to be put up for consideration for populating this certain part of like the universal tree of knowledge, which is messier than we might think because people have different ideas about things. Anyways, so this information can be private to me or a group of people. And it could be public but locked, public but open. So within this stuff, viewable, visibility, certainly that's part of it. So when I'm creating a question, do I want to just keep it for myself? You can set like your default, everything that I create is for myself. Perhaps you're greedy, perhaps you don't want to share, perhaps you feel this is not appropriate for everybody, perhaps it's private to you and you don't want to be sharing it with people that you know, whatever. That's up to you, that's private. And then public is you believe that this can be good for everybody, but it's actually your tree, it's not the universal tree. So you're presenting people to portions or the entirety of your knowledge tree. People can peruse that and check out everything you've built. And then that information can be nominated for inclusion to the universal tree that people vote on and seek to verify the quality of information there. So how do we talk about that? Oh, we gotta wrap this up, come on. Is that relevant to the creation of information? Yeah, sure. When you create information, you need to be able to say like, hey, this is private or public, or I'm nominated for King of the Hill for the round robin algorithm that would be doing A/B testing to see which thing is the best for whichever situation. Is that related here? Yeah, I think so. Is that related to this interaction? I think so. So then within the maker, we would want to have a place to say like this information is probably like private, like right off the bat, probably private, and then you can make it public if you want to be sharing, and then or link, or like on YouTube, what is it like? Okay, what is it like? Private or link, private, and then share. You can share it when it's still private, and only verified people can do. But there's also, I can send a link so that people can access this information by a link, which can be shared. And then also like public locked, and public open. Would we want that? Like anybody can edit it? I don't really like that, but is that maybe a good thing? And then nominate for like King of the Hill stuff. I think my stuff should compete with other people's stuff and try to figure out what's the best. Yeah, that's good. Something like that. Okay, so this stuff has to be there also on the maker stuff. So I think you start with no or this or message, and then message. Like, what do you mean? Like, kind of like sending DMs, direct message, yeah. And then the chat model, voice or text or video, okay. And then, so if you open this thing, it looks like a messenger service to this person. It looks like a chat system. It looks like a phone here. It looks like a TV show. It looks like a coach. It looks like your calendar maker. It looks like your to-do list. It looks like a voting app. It looks like Quora, the place where people put answers and list answers. It looks like a curriculum for teachers. It looks like a taxonomy of knowledge. It looks like your notebook. Yeah. So you open it and it just looks like, what do you want to work with knowledge? You want to work with like doing things? Or with people? And you drill down and it just appears to be everything, but everything's integrated. Okay, that is what I'm going to call it. So let's just try to, one more time, go over this to make sure I understand what I was thinking. So there's an interface and maybe like a circle, and it's split into these three things. Maybe there's more, maybe there's less, whatever. So there's like knowledge, and then like action, 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 and then people. So you click one, and when you click knowledge, you're accessing a notebook. Maybe you want to write some stuff. This is not connected to your tree of knowledge. It's not categorized. It's not filtered. It's not sequenced. It's undisciplined. And then you can document your knowledge. So that's like building your tree. Then also once you've built your tree, so the tree is built. That actually works. And then you have this tree built, which is like branching. And then you can create knowledge, seek knowledge, vote knowledge, create knowledge, document knowledge. Oh, also you have to be able to tweak your tree. Your tree is the structure. Tree is the structure. So you have to be able to tweak your tree and then document knowledge. That's making a leaf. Document your knowledge. And then now this tree with knowledge is populated in the database. And then you want to be able to create a curriculum that actually plucks information from that, and you design the levels, the staircases, the ladders that you think will help people achieve their goals, blah, blah, blah. Also, you can be seeking information if you don't know something or you're not sure of something. Voting, does that deserve to be there? I don't know. I think that's over on the people. That's communicating to people about like this or that. Does it go here? I don't know. I have no idea. Maybe not, maybe yes, I think not, whatever. Okay, so then you get out of know and you go into do. What is to do? There's like a to-do list, right? But people are going to use the notebook as to-do lists. Okay, the notebook stays. So the notebook is the heart. Notebook is simply the heart. No, it's not. Because if there's information that's uncategorized, unfiltered, unsequenced, and it's not attached to the tree, but it's still your information, that if that's heart information, then so then within your notebook you could be viewing your untreed knowledge and then your treed knowledge that has also been liked or loved or whatever. Okay, so then the notebook is actually your favorites for the tree. So it's a different view of the tree. Yeah, right. Because leaves that have like fallen to the ground, we could say they're unattached to the tree, they're unsorted. So maybe the notebook is the view of the tree and the field. So there are leaves that are not attached to the tree, they've fallen down. But they once belonged, or they belong, but you're not aware of the connection. Yeah, that's cool. Okay, and then you can seek knowledge, something you're not sure of. That's actually Quora. That's interacting with people for a purpose of wanting to get information. What is this? So that means voting is actually interacting with people because you're seeking information as well. So that's seeking knowledge, asking a question, and voting. Voting is a type of question. Oh, so it's a subset of seeking knowledge. Okay. And then do. So when you're seeking knowledge, you're creating a question. The question that doesn't have an answer. Maybe if it has no options, it's just asking a question like, what is this? If it has options, then it's like voting. What do you think? You could be asking one person or many people. I don't know how you manage that. So then there's also like do, like here's your to-do list, things that you're going to do. And you click it and it says like you're done. Yeah. Then when you're done, maybe that is stored in the notebook. You can review if you like or not. Maybe the notebook holds your favorites within your tree, your unsorted information that you've kept in lists that you've not sorted to the tree yet, perhaps you never will, and they don't get deleted. And then your to-do things that you've already done, that you've checked off as your accomplishments. So then, yeah, maybe that when you click that, that goes over there, that goes to the notebook. And then there's calendar, stuff that your appointments and promises you make. And then the routines, the stuff that you want to be internalizing, that's like curriculum for doing. That's like action curriculum. Routine, you want to internalize something. And then also people, you want to send the messages. And then also you want to, what does that say? Chat with them. And then you want to like broadcast and invite people. And then, there's also like all these little privacy settings. Who can view this stuff? Yeah, so if you're friends with people, and your friendships, friend. So Facebook has its flow of information. It's kind of like this stuff. It's kind of like a notebook because it's not sorted or filtered or anything. So when you have friends, you could say they have access to what? To everything you know? Everything you do? Or parts or nothing? Yeah, I think so. Okay, so that's the interface this is the idea for our interface. So what are we doing? We're doing text, picture, video, or sound. And you can have a stimulus of text or picture or video or sound. And the response can be text or picture or video or sound. And for the picture, video, or sound, you should probably offer a place for people to provide some text, context, or other information. And then you're going to create the ability to view your information or create true or false questions for that information. And then also multiple choice that can pre-populate from the existing siblings within a folder. And then also just open questions. And within all of this, something else we need to build that's not related to this is how do we get the algorithm to continuously, with a spaced repetition bent, query people about information that they want to be internalizing. And then later, not today, how do we create the interface for verifying the truth and verifying the quality? How do we judge the quality of information? That's a whole other video. We'll talk about that later. Anyways, I'm going to make this now, so I'll talk to you later. Ciao. Peace.